Hey guys, how you doing today? Today I have a Megabattle to show you. I didn't bring my video camera, I just brought my regular point and shoot camera. Or well, my girlfriend's really. We have a 2,000 point between each Blood Angels, Ultramarines versus Chaos invading a Imperial city that we're defending. Um, I will show you other pictures of the Chaos formation, but this is a very dynamic shot. We have two bastions, one here, one parallel on the other side. In the middle, we have some scouts. And throughout the buildings, going further back, we have a defensive position to be like waves. So we have like a first wave, second wave, third wave kind of thing going on. We didn't want to put everything up front because everything would just got blasted by apocalypse weaponry. So in this shot, just different angles showing up different positions. I have some Razorbacks here showing my adjacent Razorbacks hiding behind some buildings ready to spring some traps when the chaos come trolling through our city. Oh, that was a cool shot. To the left, you kind of see a cool Razorback kind of destroyed and in some sand and whatnot. Here's a nice overview shot before we get started as well. See some Space Marine combining their forces here. Blood Angels and the Ultramarines. We have some Whirlwinds, Ball Predators, some Razorbacks, Devastator squads. A lot of Devastator squads. We have um, to the right upper hand, we have two Devastator squads. We have a Captain squad next to the Ball Predator. Then we have, I believe, a Devastator squad with Jump Pack Marines behind that. And then we have to the far left, Devastator Squad on top, Devastator Squad in the middle. You can kind of see the Blood Angel in there. And at the bottom, we have a Jump Pack Marine Squad ready to jump out and attack anyone attacking that Devastator Squad as well. And here we have a nice shot of the waves of chaos impending doom. Yes, that is a shot of Abaddon. Abaddon is obviously leading the charge here. They have captured two Imperial super heavies, Apocalypse, Baneblades, and whatnots, ready to hose us. So they have, I believe, around 3,000 plus the two captured Baneblades for 4,000. I think they had more, I don't remember. The special scenario, by the way, was the hurricane. So we're going through this planet apocalypse battle, and everyone's ballistic skill and initiative is reduced by one. So there was a lot of missing. Plus, all ordnance weapons were to deviate 3d6 plus the scatter dice. So it was interesting for the first couple of rounds. Things were still hitting on target, and even with the apocalypse pie plates, still did a lot of damage. So yeah, it's gonna hurt. So here's a rear shot. Bunch of tanks behind the super heavies. We have Raptors, we have Corn Berserkers, we have Dreadnoughts, Baneblade, Land Raiders, Predators, Rhinos, all holding lots and lots of evil chaos troops. Didn't seem like a lot because a lot were in the giant transport thing that could carry up to what, like 20 people or 40 people, something weird, something a lot. And then Rhinos carrying 10, and then the Land Raider carrying Terminators, and then he had like a 9-man Obliterator Apocalypse formation squad, which did like the huge super heavy las and like whatever they're called, and the like the super heavy D cannon or the strength D weaponry fire or whatever that they do. So very scary. They did a lot of damage themselves, and he kept rolling a lot of sixes for their stolen purposes. So they were actually keeping up with the main force pretty well the whole battle. So here's our front line. It was actually really cool. Tactic actually. It was supposed to be speed bump, like 10-man uh, scout squad. I think there were some shotguns, heavy bolters. There might have been something else in there, but they did really well actually because a lot of the firepower was focused on that first wave area. There was actually a las cannon sponson and a auto gun sponson right there to help them. Um, but with the lowered ballistic skill, they were hitting on sixes. But regardless, they were behind that heavy structure for cover, so they had like the 4-up invulnerable saves. So they're actually making a lot of the saves, even against like the heavy ordnance that was coming in on them. So our joke for them being the speed bump actually occurred and held up for a very long time. Of course, he shot at some other things, but the main focus was that line, and it held up actually pretty well. But in the future, there is only war and sorrow and probably lots of widows as well. So barrages start coming in, super pie plates of doom come floating in. That was the first pie plate of the day. It was targeted through a small hole to see my ball predator. It hit it, didn't do anything to ball predator, but it pretty much it did some damage around it as well. I think it only actually killed 3 of that captain squad or whatever, but still kind of sucked for us. Could have been worse. It could have blown up my predator and the whirlwind that it's under as well. Just didn't do too much damage from the roll, but it was a dead-on hit. It could have been a lot worse. Here is the brave scout squad with the 2 bastions in the shot, as well as the how far away the super heavies were, and basically the whole chaos line coming in. You can see some of our turrets already going down, some deviation, blowing stuff up. You can actually see all 10 scouts, so nothing happened here at the scouts, but all the firing happened towards either the bastion to the left or the bastion to the right. 14 all around, so they held up pretty well. But the scouts start getting whittled away, and the bastions actually start taking shaken and weapon destroyed, and you'll see what happens to them later, of course. Here's a shot from the chaos point of view rolling up on us. You can kind of see some of the angles that they have on us. Some of our dreadnoughts on the right and left poke out, so they get the cover save and try to take pot shots at the super heavies or anything that's close enough. At this point, none of our plasma cannons are really in sight. A lot of our las cannons on the second wave can't reach anything, so it's really up to the bastions and the dreadnoughts with hunter killer missiles and las cannons to do much. Of course, the scouts take some shots at the raptors as they move into cover. I don't think they do anything. Actually, they don't do anything. So another pie plate to the face. This is probably like round 2. Turn 2 or turn 3. Wasn't keeping track too well. Another pie plate to the Devastator squad's face. I don't think it does too much damage. Even for the apocalypse, just the damage and whatnot just wasn't happening on either side, actually. The lower ballistic skill is really hurting. We were rolling on 4s, and my partner kept rolling low to do any kind of damage, but he would hit. It was really funny because we were joking about how he rolled a hit, not have to roll to wound or to do any kind of damage on the vehicle damage charts. Here's just a shot of the other bastion. With the last cannon squad, and the Devastator squad, really, up there. The 2 dreadnoughts kind of hiding behind there. The land speeder moving behind to get into range for some shots. And lo and behold, our first casualty, one unlucky Khorne berserker. This is like turn 3 or turn 2 for us or something like that. So it wasn't like much was happening. He had maybe, I don't know, not much himself. A bunch of scouts died. Maybe like 3 or 4 scouts in total, and a few from that captain squad. Alright, so we actually start taking more shots at the super heavies here. We actually managed to do some damage here, shaking the main cannon so it couldn't shoot, and actually destroying the demolisher cannon, but that really doesn't slow that thing too much in the end. So our whirlwind actually finally gets into range and starts laying down our mini pie plates. We do maybe a little bit of damage here and there, but they're Chaos Space Marines, so they're getting the 3-up saves. Some are getting cover saves if they're near like the tanks and whatnot. Some of the tanks are behind the other tanks. Here in this picture, our left bastion falls down, it gets demolished, destroyed. Everyone survives though. No one takes any wounds. Um, so that was actually really good. Actually, it was wrecked, so they kind of just climb out of whatever rubble it is. Exposes our two dreadnoughts and our whirlwind right there. So that's not very fun. So just kind of a picture of our downed bastion, some of the scouts that are left, and the wave that's coming at them. That dreadnought is coming for us, as well as the corn berserkers, and right behind it is the land raider with some sneaky, nasty terminators in there. That'll come out later, and I'll show you those pictures too. This is just a shot from top picture of one of the bastions. You can see down there in the blur. Raptors moving in on the scout squad. They ran the whole game because they're trying to get in that cover, and once they got the cover, they're just kind of trying to run out. They had failed their charge against the that wall there, so they kind of are out in the middle. But even with our poor shooting because of the ballistic skill from the rain, we didn't manage to do any kind. I think we killed like maybe one or two raptors in total to protect the scouts, but not much. So again, we fire some barrage weaponry. This time it actually deviates from the corn squad and actually goes back into the obliterator squad, causing like 3 wounds or something like that. He actually rolled 2 1s and then like a 5 or something. So lucky for us, unlucky for him, one obliterator goes down because they have 2 wounds apiece. So slowly chipping away, both sides. So both our dreadnoughts charge his dreadnought. Obviously, we win. I believe he immobilizes his. I don't remember if he did or not in during that battle. No, he didn't because we both consolidated. I consolidated up front to get to the corn berserkers, and he consolidated behind me to get cover with his las cannon. So that was pretty funny. All right, so you can see that here the move in. My dreadnought did its job, I guess, and got blown up, so his las cannon stayed alive. At this point, I think it got shaken, so it couldn't shoot, and then it got immobilized. So this turn, it was basically just a metal box sitting there, and out come some nasty terminators and more pie plates. What happened here was we were in the cusp of the storm. Buildings fall over, squads get struck by lightning. The only major building that fell was this one and a small one up front. But this one had like 3 squads, so he started pie plating it. They all survive, which is kind of funny. So here's a shot. He didn't even know Mephiston wasn't even on the board until now. That building falls over. The Raptors come attack the scout squad that was in it. Scouts don't take any damage. They kind of get picked off by some shooting, but Mephiston's out in the open, and I think he has plans on trying to kill him as well with some strength D weaponry. Not fun, but oh well. And here are the Terminators, all with power weapons. I think one has a chain fist, but they're all like the champions, so they all have like a ridiculous amount of attacks, ridiculous armor. So that squad basically gets wiped out. We roll it out. We don't just take them off, but they do die. And in this picture, we have some scouts kind of running off. They take so much damage from shooting. That 10-man squad is down, finally down to 2, so they held up pretty long, some firepower, but they roll 9 and they try to flee. Well, they do flee. So unfortunately, this will be the last shot. The hurricane kind of comes in and everyone gets scared. Not us though. It's Maryland got scared. The person that was playing us lived in Maryland. He lived an hour away, and they were closing down the roads. So unfortunately, he had to start packing up and going. But it's not. It just rained this weekend, so it wasn't even very scary. Kind of sucked. But you can kind of see this is kind of like where it ended. He didn't break our first wave, actually. We kind of still held, but he was getting through. He would have hit our second wave soon, and Mephiston kind of, I bounced him back into the building so he could be a part of the second wave when those Terminators got there, or the Raptors, or any Corn Berserkers. But the super heavies were reaching our line, and it would start getting a little bit messier because of the fact that our second wave was more of a assault wave and not a shooting wave. Plus, we had the Devastator squads in the back that would have been able to reach as soon as they reached the second wave. So I hope you enjoyed this slideshow voiceover. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish it, but it was very close on both sides. We were just both kind of just whittling each other away. All right, thanks for watching.